Today I want to teach you how to play Cookin' Up Something Good by Mac Demarco. I think it's a really interesting song. A student of mine wanted to learn it. I noticed that on YouTube there's no other videos that really explain the rhythm, how to do this. And the song's easy to learn. The chords are easy. You can skip ahead and learn the chords. But that thing is really important to learn. So if you're interested in playing like that and how to do that type of thing, then watch this part. The trick to that is two things. Keeping your right hand moving to the beat, and then knowing how to do left-handed muting. So check it out really slow. That is tricky if you're not used to that. And the first thing is this. Get used to doing this. I'm just counting. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now once that's happening, what you're gonna do is this. You're gonna squeeze on beats 1 first. So 1. Just get that. 1. Okay, so if you got that, the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go E and So we're gonna do the of 1. So we had 1 blank blank Get that? 1 E and 1 E and Just loop that. Okay, if you got the hang of that, here's the next bit. So that's kind of tricky. So we got down, up, down, and one more time. Up, down, 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4. So the full thing is now 1 E and a 2 E. Again. And that's the rhythm. That's the hardest part. Once you can do that, the rest is easy. For me, the way I play this is I'm just focusing on the top 4 strings and I'm letting my left hand mute the other strings. If it's too hard for you to wrap your thumb, that's okay. You can get this part of your hand on the guitar like this. You won't get as aggressive of a sound, but you... That's one way of doing it. Or else, even if you can just barely touch the low E string with your thumb, that's enough, because you could use your ring finger to mute the A string, and you can go. Let's talk about what the chords are for this rhythm part. It's the top of a G major chord. Then it's the top of a C major chord, right? All I'm doing is playing this bar chord. But instead of playing it like this, I'm putting my ring finger where my pinky was, and my pointer finger is sliding all the way up, and it's just occupying the 8th fret of the 1st and 2nd strings. So instead of this big C major chord, I'm just using 3 fingers to play the top 4 strings. So I got a G major, a C major, an A minor. Instead of it being a full A minor, it's once again top 4 strings. Back to C major. Beyond that, all you're doing is you're sliding into C and you're sliding into A minor. And there's one little embellishment over that C major. What you're doing is you're putting your pinky right when he goes. That's the 10th fret of the high E string, so you just go. So the first part is our rhythm. Slide with that embellishment, and then back to A minor with another slide. Our embellishment. This is the most important part. Keep your right hand moving. That other rhythm guitar part can be played by just putting a capo on the 3rd fret, and the chords are just E, A, and F sharp minor. What would be an F sharp minor if you didn't have a capo? So the chords are actually G, C, and A minor, right? So it's hard when you're in capo land to sort of explain it, but that's the idea. And what he's doing is he's going like this. He just does a hammer on all his chords. So that's the rhythm part there. Now the chords to the chorus are just this. E, what would be E, you're in capo land. C, dominant, F major, F sharp minor. Remember, those are like capo land chords. The chords are, if you're not thinking capo land, if you're thinking what the actual chords are, what they are is G, E flat dominant, A flat, and then A minor. And the final chord in the whole song is a C7, right? Or if you're thinking in capo land, that's an A7. That lead guitar thing he's doing is like this. It's only 3 notes. G, the 8th fret of the B string, 6th fret of the B string, and 7th fret of the G string. And all you're doing is you're playing these notes, you just keep playing 8th notes, and you do a little bend. You do a little bend on that 8th fret. It's kind of like a really, really slow bend. And it sounds weird on the recording because there's 2 guitars doing that and they're not doing them at the same time. So like you got one playing a G and one playing an F, so it's a little bit hard to do like just with one guy. And that's just a bend and then pull off. That's all that is. Just a little bluesy thing. Here's how you get the Mac Demarco sounds without having to spend any money. To me, the ingredients of the guitar sound on this recording is a Strat on the in-between position. I only had a Telecaster, so that's why it doesn't sound quite right. Ideally into one of these boards, I'll get to this in a second, you don't really need it, right into your interface. And then all you do is you cut the lows completely out, you boost the highs all the way, like totally ridiculously drastic, and then tons of compression, and then add warble and chorus. And that's it. That's all you gotta do. In fact, you could do that on everything. And you do like the opposite on the bass. On the bass, you'll just lower the highs. This is a Tascam M30. These are all over Craigslist. I bought this one for 75 bucks. This has the exact same pre's that he has on his Tascam 388, I think, which I think he used on this recording. You don't really need it. All really it's doing is adding white noise. That hissing sound, that hiss. Part of the sound is the white noise. So if you don't have a Tascam or something like vintagey that creates some sort of white noise, then you just have to generate it and add it to your mix, because that's really the giveaway that it's analog, is that white noise. You just use this plugin, which is free. It's isotope vinyl, and you just mess with the warp section. The trick to the drum sound, I didn't get it perfectly, but his drums sound like suitcases, right? He has a super high pitched sounding kick and a super low sounding snare. So I muted everything up, covered it all up. I didn't want to retune my snare, so I just pitched it down 4 semitones. And just a 3 mic setup. He's got a mic really close to his hi-hat on the snare, on the kick, compress the crap out of that, and that's the sound. I just was trying to match his sound, and that was kind of what I had to do. Some exciters on there, and I was also pushing like the high end on the Tascam. It's like a super duper bright sound, no low end whatsoever, straight in. That's kind of the formula to get that cooking up something good production sound by Mac Demarco.